So a lot of people ask me, what is the result of all this laptop giving? It's stupidity, it's totally wrong. I had a coach, actually a youth trainer, got really upset with me the other day. He was saying that this is total bullshit and wasting people's time. To many it is. As I said, it's I'm discovering a new methodology of teaching, using Facebook as a metaverse, using Facebook as a small little world of mine to evolve. It is my school, it is my school, college, it is my university, it's my metaverse. And within that metaverse, people are evolving and growing. Now, I have some stories which I know happened because of this. For example, I know a gentleman who was married to some lady because of this, within a rival kind of tribe in Pakistan. I know that I have made phenomenal friends in the world because of this. Let's talk about PG Entrepreneur. I met through Facebook, and he met many people from Facebook through me. And then he is launching an NFT, and that NFT is written by a boy who he met through Facebook through me, and then now he is working with him in Philippines. I think I am a product of Suzanne Bowen. She helped me transform myself by asking the right questions. But in my journey, I don't give her a lot of credit of a lot of things. I'm also a product of my parents, which I don't give a lot of credit to, but they actually developed me into the person I am. They themselves don't give themselves, my mother doesn't give herself enough credit to make me into the person I am. But they actually did something in my life which made me into the person I am. Similarly, all the people who went through this journey don't give me credit of a lot of things, but I don't really seek the credit. But it's really hard to document this because there's so much randomness in the whole process. I can take the credit for many things, right? But it's not the right thing to do, I think, because don't have the exact data. Maybe Facebook can one day release the data of who connected. I wish it was an MLM program where we could note, who recommended who and who recommended who. But we don't have that methodology available. So I would say a lot of people got joy. One of them is Carla Richmond, and she has now thousands and thousands of followers. She has reached to over 2 million views, 2 million students, you can say, and she teaches English, right? As she was a retired person who was alone in her bubble living in Washington DC, and now she has a huge tribe who is learning English from her every single day, and she's impacting. I remember I was at a place in Karachi where I'm normally not, and a boy came running to me and said, "Oh, you're Carla Richmond's friend. I am her student." And I was so surprised and happy for her that people know her in Pakistan. It would have never happened. I have many small stories of change. I have the story of Pamela Hills, who is initial part of this experiment. And she had 50 friends maybe on Facebook when I met her, and now she has like maybe 15,000 followers and 5,000 friends. And she received a message from Afghanistan or Pakistan tribal area many years ago, saying that I want to come to the US and I want to kill everyone in the US. And she was scared. A couple of hours later, she had the courage to talk to him again. And it turned out that he was a 16-year-old boy whose family was killed by the United States Army drones. And they were innocent. They were just children and parents and all. And he was very upset. But after having an 2-hour conversation with Pamela, he said that if everyone in the United States is as good as you are, I am sorry, I will never hurt any American in my life again, or ever again, ever. And I think that's one of the things she still does it. She still conversate with people. She's also a retired homemaker, but she has traveled the world and seen a lot of things. I've had the honor to go and live with her family, with my son and one of my colleagues in her house. She was a fantastic host. But beside us, through this experiment, she has been able to help 2 young Pakistanis migrate to the United States as students, full scholarships they have received. It's very hard to know how this whole journey has impacted, because most of the people who know me in the Facebook world think of me as a crazy guy, as a nutcase, and they don't take me seriously. But they still follow me. I have around 1 million followers on Facebook today, and I keep doing what I've been doing for the last 10-15 years. I keep bringing people who are very different in the lives of these people, who they would never have the courage to say hello to. So I would bring scholars, models, teachers, churchgoers, normal people, special people, and just post about them like a 2-liner and say, hey, here's a guy you can be friends with, and just say hi to them and ask them your question. And they do, and they become friends with them. So majority of the people who are doing this experiment are not completing the experiment, but they're still following this experiment. I have a very good friend from Europe. She told me that when I found her on Facebook, I posted a video about the Paris bombing, and she commented somehow on it, and I said hello to her, and we became good friends. And she said to me later, after like 6-7 years of meeting, that I was very curious about Muslims and I wanted to meet the Muslims and talk to them. And maybe that was the reason she started talking to me. But it's very, very, the whole thing is, it's just too small to measure. But I know for a fact that it has brought a lot of impact. And because I built a large following at an early age of Facebook by advertising, I even had a billboard in Karachi city saying, hi, my name is Rehan. I would like to be your Facebook friend. Would you add me? How many crazy people do that? So people added me on Facebook. I had a large following, and probably they were just doing it out of fun, but I started sending content towards them, which was more to help them become a different person. There's this guy, his name is Sunny Ali. He sometimes calls me his teacher. I know him for 14 years, but he was on my Facebook for almost 14 years. So anybody who is on my Facebook for 14 years, who's been through this experiment, I am very sure that their life have been impacted through this journey, because these youth, these youngsters are coming and bombarding friend requests and inboxing them about things which are totally random and different, and they ask questions. So Sunny must have received many questions. I know one of our ex-employee who worked with him, he met him through Facebook. I know that he watches me, what I'm doing on Facebook, so he's influenced. When he was starting up to teach what he teaches today in Amazon, he's teaching Amazon how to do business on Amazon. Now he is doing multi-million-dollar business. His goal is to bring a billion-dollar economy to Pakistan through Amazon. At least it was, and now he's already impacted more than that. I had the influence on him to force him to do videos. So I did like 2 or 3 time videos with him and brought him in front of my audience. And by bringing him in front of my audience and his own audience, who I've been preparing, all these people who follow me, I've been preparing them by questioning, by curiosity. I have this following, and they're hungry. Not everybody in the world is hungry to grow, but I have this following who is hungry to grow. So when I put in a fish in front of these hungry wolves, you can say hungry wolves for knowledge, growth, they just grab them, and hundreds of followers just come to them. And that changes them without them knowing that they're changed because of what I did. It's a small thing, but it's a big thing at the same time. I don't know what the impact has been. So Sunny now has 1.2 million people on his Facebook group. Who's there? Using Facebook to teach. And he's bringing impact that is measurable, because he's saying, do this course, pay me this much money or not, or apply for a scholarship. So he's measuring everything, and he's delivering phenomenal content to people who is making them phenomenal. There's another guy, his name is Usman Chokhtai, and he and I go back maybe 14, 15 years. And I forced him into the similar thing. I kept forcing him to add friends, make videos. Today he's a rock star. He has 500,000 followers. He's teaching e-commerce. He changed his name to Allahwala. And he claimed to be first person in, he holded my hand and he said, I'm going to take a bet, in Sufism, in the lineage of students, you take a bet, okay, I hereby am your student from now on, like a admission in the university. So he was one of the first one who did that. And I never asked anyone to become my student until 3 years ago, which is 2019. I never made anybody formal student until I was sure what I was doing is actually working. And then I started asking people would you like to be my student? Would you like to be my student? So far only 30,000 people have said I want to be. Majority have never completed the job which I give them, but they do a little bit. And then little bit quenches their thirst. And my wish is that they wouldn't just quench their thirst. They would actually be more thirsty. They would be more hungry for more, and take out my brain and just eat it, and take everything I have and just become whatever they can become. Phenomenal, like a father wants their children to become, right? I see as myself as a teacher. I don't see myself as anybody else except a teacher, and I want to give away everything I have in my head. That's my biggest desire, that I don't want to die with anything in my head which can help humanity by becoming better, by taking advantage of what I have explored. Because it's like a deposit by universe, by all the people I met in my life. They gave it to me. It's a gift. And I don't want to keep it with myself only. I want to take advantage of it by learning it, implementing it, and give it to somebody else, like a library of information, right? The book is not yours. It's there for you to read and then pass it forward. So it'll be really sad for me to burn this library or die with it by being inside. I wish Ray Kurzweil will invent this machine quickly so I can download my brain and just put it on a hard disk and just people can use it. And make an archive of it, make billion copies of it, and just Google it whenever they want to Google it. Or somebody would come out with a way to get into my Akashic records and download everything and Google everything. So it's just easier, right? It's just, why go through the same pain which I have been through? Why not take advantage of all the experience I have? Why not learn from what I know? Why not? Collective learning is what I crave for. To me, Facebook is a global mind. It's not one person anymore. There's like a global mind, interconnected, intertwined. And when we ask questions, the global mind comes together and helps us solve those questions. But you have to have the right audience to have the answers right. If you don't have the people from other parts of the world who have already solved the problem which you're trying to solve a small little water problem which was solved in Europe 55 years ago. It's not even a problem there anymore, right? So you just ask it on the wall on Facebook, but with the friends from Europe in your network, and you would get it solved. So I know of a school in Chaman which has raised over $100,000 from my network, and they educate children there. I know for a fact that hundreds of partnerships have been made, maybe thousands have been made, because of what I have done, but there's no way for me to prove it, and I don't really want to prove it. It's not, I didn't do it to prove anything. There's, so many friends I have. Hisham Sarwar, who is now the #1 teacher in Pakistan for freelancing, calls me a teacher, and I respect him for that because I didn't really teach him much. What I did for him was I helped him come out of his box. I helped him be able to put videos on the internet, which are now making him extremely famous, extremely powerful, extremely amazing, which he was. But all I did was I throwed him into my Facebook machine where I can take anyone, and through this system I can make them into a rock star very quickly. It's like I have this, it's like you're a singer and you come to my record company, and I have a small little training company, and I train you and make you a record, and you become a rock star out there. And I've been able to create the system. The system is very simple. Fix up your social media profiles, start making a little bit videos, connect with people who are different than you, stop being judgmental, boom, and let me make a small little shout out for you, and you will change. I met a woman last week in Dubai, and she wanted to teach blockchain. Made a post for her, 3,000 students overnight. She made 80 students in I don't know how many months or years. So this audience which I have, which is hungry, I have this audience, right? And it doesn't cost them anything. It would cost them to go on Facebook and advertise themselves, and then fetch that and learn all that, how to do it. And I'm here kind of taking them and throwing them in the water, and instantly you're swimming. There are thousands of amazing people out there, millions even, who don't think they're amazing. And that's the biggest problem I have. These amazing people don't think they're amazing. I tell my wife, you're an amazing chef, please put videos. She doesn't. I don't know why. And I can't force myself. I can't force her to do it, right? I have to keep inspiring them. And I'm not one of those people who would force. But in my student program, I kind of force on them because they're here. They're saying, I want to learn. So if you're going to a doctor and saying that take out my teeth, of course I'm going to take out your teeth and fix your teeth. But if you don't come to me and say, please take out my teeth, I will not do that. You want to suffer? Be my guest. Please go to the next room and shout. I don't want to hear your shouting. But if you want help from it, I can help you. And I have created this beautiful system which slowly teaches you to change yourself, to grow yourself in a small atomic bite-size methodology where you change your friends and your mindset changes. So what have I achieved? I don't know. I will not be able to give you a solid answer for that, but I know that it has helped a lot of people. Maybe one day somebody can actually measure it for me. I have had a few people tried to measure it for me, but they were not successful enough. But let's see where all this goes.